Hi, I'm Vicky from Rockstars and Royalty, and today I'm here with Emma from Leiden magazine. Tell us about Leiden magazine.
Yeah, so we are an online magazine. We write on fashion, beauty, health and fitness and lots of other things as well. We're based here in Canberra predominantly, but we've got contributors in Sydney and Melbourne and overseas as well. So there's lots
Fabulous.
of Leiden girls writing, and boys, writing for us.
And now you have just produced this amazing book, which is what we're here to have a chat about today.
Yes.
It's called Building a Conscious Wardrobe. Where did the idea for doing this book come from?
So it was a very spontaneous decision actually. I've recently been involved in an event called Fashionably Numb with Kelly from PurePod. So I feel like it was at the beginning of this year or even the end of last year maybe that she was talking about creating an event about ethical and sustainable fashion.
Yep.
So I jumped on board to help her with that, and initially I just wanted to support this amazing event and to promote it through the magazine and to help her plan it all and the logistics of it all.
Yeah.
But after a few meetings that we'd had, and I kept thinking about all the things I wanted to say, it's like maybe I'll produce a print publication to go with it. So I kind of fleshed that out and I told her that's what I wanted to do and she was all keen. And then I just started gathering ideas of all the things I wanted to talk about and what I wanted it to look
and
like.
It just grew and grew
and
and grew.
It got so big that it ended up being
It's a really fat book.
Yes.
You get your money's worth. I'll put a link in the description for how you can order yourself a copy.
Yes.
Why did you decide to do print rather than online?
Well, because online is what we do every day, so I wanted to create something, I guess, not that online isn't special, but something that you could hold and keep, and I wanted it to be something that would be useful for people beyond the event, so I wanted it to tie in with the event, and we have profiles on a lot of the designers that were part of the event, but something, that had life beyond it, and that was really pretty and beautiful, and that we wanted
really
to keep
beautiful.
and refer to for a long time.
Yeah, and I think it's a beautiful keepsake. I love books. I recently moved to a Kindle quite reluctantly, and I love it mainly for travelling.
Yeah.
But I do still love having an actual book and holding a book, especially when it's not just a novel, when it is something with all these amazing photos and information and advice in. So one of the things I love about this is you've gone beyond just fashion. One of the topics that I thought you touched on that was really important that isn't talked about enough is periods.
Yes.
And the sustainable choices you can make for when you have your period.
Absolutely, and that was something that I started thinking about personally maybe last year when I got my first moon cup.
Yep.
And I got that because I was just thinking, spending so much money on pads and tampons, and I didn't realise then how long they take to break down either.
Yeah, the waste involved is...
So I knew that it was a
horrific.
bad thing, but I didn't realise the extent of it, and I was like, well, I'll get a moon cup and see how I feel, and I really enjoy using it. And I buy a box of panty liners a year now.
That's superb.
And have one little
really
emergency box of tampons. So it's made a huge difference to my wallet, but also in that I'm not putting all that stuff into landfill.
Fantastic.
And you're right, we totally don't talk about it.
Yeah, and it's something you don't really think about.
No, you just do what you're in the
habit of doing.
It's
like shopping for clothes. We've got into the habit of buying tampons, buying pads, and that's what we use. So it's great to see the alternatives put there. And the chemicals worry me as well.
Yes.
The amount of chemicals in tampons that you're putting into your body.
And you don't think about that either. And it's sitting inside your body. It's not a good thing. So to have something natural is a lot better for you and for when you dispose of it.
I love it. What was your favourite part about making the book?
I really enjoyed the tampon section, the period section, because I love the illustrations. So I think my favourite part of putting the book together, I don't know, I didn't realise what a big job it would be when I decided I would do it. I was very naive when I set out. So it was really fun doing all the research, and it's really made an impact on myself and my own shopping habits.
That's what I was going to ask you. What has it changed in your life since finding out all this information?
So much, because I guess I'm a big consumer of fashion.
And with an online magazine that is about fashion.
Yes. And I've always thought about the ethical and sustainable aspects of it, and it's something that we've always talked about and we want to promote. But certainly since doing this, it's just brought home to me how much more I can be doing and should be doing. I feel like I have a responsibility in the type of content that we're producing to talk about these issues. Like, I don't want to be like, buy this, buy this, buy this.
Yeah, you see so many magazines, fashion magazines and online fashion, they're just talking about what the latest thing to buy and don't go any deeper into the problems that that's causing. One of the things that I love that you do a lot is you rewear things. Even before you started doing the book and talking about the sustainability more, I always see pictures of you rewearing the same coat with the same bags or with the same shoes, and you seem to really be keen to buy investment high-end pieces that you keep and then wear and love and rewear, and I love that. I absolutely love that.
That's always been part of my philosophy, because I think mainly from a monetary perspective, but definitely like I feel a lot more strongly about it now, but I like to buy things that may cost a lot of money, but that I know I love and I'm going to wear again and again and again.
Fantastic.
And I like, why would I spend that much money? I'm not
I always love it when your
Gucci
Gucci bag with the cat face pops up, and your blue coat with the jewels on the sleeve. I adore that, and that always makes me happy when I see it on your Instagram feed or in some photos of what you're wearing.
Because I think it's a really dangerous thing about the social media culture, is that there's this like drive to never be seen wearing the same thing twice, that you always have to be looking fresh and different, and I think that's really unhealthy.
And it's unsustainable for the planet, but it's unsustainable for people who are following these Instagram accounts as well. So often these influencers, that word makes me creep a little bit. Often they're being sent these clothes, they're not buying them, so they've got this huge turnover of things that are being sent to them by companies who they are being paid to promote. And there's no way that their followers can keep up with the cost of buying these things to keep up. And I think they need to take a little bit more responsibility for how they show these clothes and for how they talk about what they've got. The same with makeup bloggers, the big YouTubers who get sent all this product all the time, the waste involved in that.
Yeah, because they probably only use it once or twice and then it's in the bin, because there's like 10 other things they have to use.
The waste involved in that, I think, is just awful. And I know these companies need to promote their products, but I think there needs to be, maybe look at a better way to go about it.
Yeah. I have heard, I can't remember who now, but there was a fashion influencer that I follow. She's British, and she's like very strict that she doesn't want to be sent anything, because she kept getting sent all these things that she didn't want, didn't need, and then was giving them to friends or giving them to charity. But she's like, just don't send them to me. Like, if I want something, I'll get in touch. Yeah. But she was just getting all these unsolicited.
Way to do it.
So more practice like that would help.
Definitely. And going back to clothes and how we can change how we shop, we're talking about you buying your high-end pieces, like your Gucci pieces. And to me, I think, number one, re-wearing those, but I see high-end fashion as opposed to fast fashion as an investment. So they're pieces that you can then sell.
Yes.
And they're still going to retain a value. A lot of them do become quite collectible.
Yes.
So they're things that if you decide you do only want to wear them a couple of times and buy something else, there's something that you can then sell on. The quality's going to mean that they will be, as long as you've looked after them, they are going to be still in a saleable condition.
Exactly, and they're not going to end up in landfill. Whereas all the fast fashion pieces, they're so poorly made. Yeah. You know, they don't even last the few times you wear them before you try to give them on to someone else. And then they're probably just going to be in landfill. Exactly. Or they'll end up in an op shop, but they're just not of the quality that people are going to buy. Often with the really cheap clothes that end up in a charity shop, they're often priced higher in the charity shop than they would be to buy in the first place brand new, which is quite frightening as well. Yeah. And I think this is quite timely, us having this conversation at the minute after we've just seen H&M open here in Canberra
less than a week ago, and the online social media frenzy about everyone getting excited about H&M opening. And we're talking about H&M because that's what's just opened here, but this is all fast fashion brands. And I was shocked by the amount of people who went bonkers for H&M. So where I used to live in England, we had an H&M there, and I have to say I rarely shopped there because the clothes were terrible.
Yeah.
Really terrible, badly made, fell apart, the sizing was really off.
Oh, the sizing.
And again, I'm using H&M as an example, but this is across the board. These clothes are produced so quickly, the turnover's so fast, they don't have time to
2 weeks
make
from design to production
properly. They don't have time to sample and size it properly because the turnover for the business is so fast. So I guess the message, the overall message from your book and from everything we're talking about today is that we really need to start shopping differently and start talking about how to shop differently.
And that was something I really wanted to do with it because it's such a big problem. Like, the problems with the fashion industry are massive. And you can so often be like, well, what can I do? Like, will anything I do actually make a difference when it's such a big problem? But what we've tried to do, and what I hope you find if you buy a book, that there are lots of little things that you can do, and so we've put in lots of practical tips. And it doesn't matter if you're even interested in fashion, like we all have to buy clothes. On how you can buy better, or just even to think more about what you're buying. Do you need it? Why are you buying it?
Think about how you discard it if you don't want it anymore as
well.
well.
How you wash it, how you care for it can make a difference if you're going to repair it. And then how you dispose of it if you don't want it anymore. There are so many different ways you can do it than dumping it in a charity bin if it's maybe like not even going to help the charity you're giving it to, or putting it in the bin.
And I think this problem goes beyond fashion as well. It's how we consume in general with everything. It's walking into Kmart and seeing $2 homewares. People are filling their homes with this stuff and then moving on to the next trend the same as they do with clothes. So I think again, I'm saying Kmart, but I'm not picking out Kmart. There's other shops that are exactly the same. I don't want to be accused of picking on particular shops, but it is, the turnover of our consumption is just unsustainable. We need to shop differently in every aspect of our lives. Food packaging is another one that makes me really angry every time I go to the supermarket, the amount of packaging. And then the supermarkets come out like they're heroes because they've banned plastic shopping bags at the checkout. Then you walk in, they're like, but here's a plastic bag to put your fruit and veg in. Here's everything on our shelves full of plastic, or packaged in plastic. So how much difference is just stopping plastic bags at the checkout really making, when they need to look at every single product in their stores, I think, and the plastic packaging that they're using and that we're buying. It's crazy.
Well, even if with fashion, if you think of the amount of packaging we're now using for that because of social media, how we want to film our unboxing or our parcel arriving,
and we're shopping more online than in regular bricks and mortar stores.
Packaging, everything's in a fancy box with ribbons, and like, I doubt many people are reusing those things. They're probably still just going straight in the bin. So so many problems.
So many problems. So few answers.
But we're trying.
I think it's great to just keep talking about it, and I think rather than talking just about the problems all the time, talking about the solutions and how you can make a difference. And that's what I really love about this book, is you've made it fun and you've given ways that people can change how they shop and can change how they consume, and made it really accessible rather than just banging on about the problem, which is what we've just been doing in this video.
Sorry.
But I think to get people to change, it needs to be easy, simple, fun solutions that move them away from fast fashion.
Absolutely.
So hopefully we'll keep going with the message, and hopefully we'll get people to change how to shop. So what do you think you would like people's take-home message to be? What changes would you like to see after people have read your book?
Yeah, I hope that people can take away that they can make a difference, that anyone can make a difference. Just even one small change, if you keep that up, you know, even for 5 years, that's going to make a huge
And encourage your
impact.
friends to make that change too.
Absolutely.
My big one at the minute is saying no to drinking straws wherever we go. I've got drinking straws here that I bought years ago that my daughter's gradually using up, and I've already told her that once they're gone, we are not buying anymore.
I'm doing the same thing
and I
too.
really encourage her not to have a straw in her drinks when we go out. And one thing I've been meaning to do is look online to buy some bamboo straws or some metal straws that I can take with me, so she can still have a straw but without using that.
Yeah, I've got one
plastic.
that I keep in my bag all the time, a metal one. And I have been very vigilant about using a keep cup as well. Yeah. Because it's hard sometimes when like you are out and you just feel like you need a hot chocolate and you didn't bring your
I try and have coffee in rather than get a takeaway now.
I try to minimise that, and then I've got like 3 different keep cups.
Excellent.
I've got one with me everywhere.
Just, taking your water bottle wherever you go. There's so many places you can fill it up, or just ask in the cafe and they'll fill it up for you instead of buying a bottle of water. I take bottles of water when I go to the cinema now instead of buying. I always used to buy drinks in the cinema, so I don't do that anymore. And all these small changes, it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you add them all together, it soon adds up. And if we all start making small changes like that, it can make a big difference.
And definitely to talk about what you're doing to your friends and family. Because you don't have to get preachy and be like, you should do this. But just talking about it, you don't know who
I'm
that
sure
might...
my friends are.
They've
heard it all so many times.
But you don't know who you might inspire.
Exactly. And if it makes them think twice next time they go to put the straw in their drink in the club or in the pub, or the next time that they get a takeaway coffee when they could sit and have it in, or take their own keep cup with them, it soon...
it all chips away. And imagine, if we're all doing that, eventually it will reach everybody, and everyone will be making those little changes.
We have to make it the new normal.
Yes.
So people feel like they're the weird one if they're using the straw. Let's change what normal is. There you go. That's our new slogan.
Yes. I like it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming to talk to me. And I love your book. I'm going to put a link below so you can get online and order a copy. Do you ship worldwide?
We do, yes.
Even better.
We ship anywhere you are. I will ship you up.
Get online, order yourself a copy, and make some little changes in your life. These changes don't have to cost anything. It can be
might even save you money.
Just thinking about things before you buy them.
Absolutely.
So, fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be back soon with some more videos. See you soon.
Bye.